Everyone, and welcome back to another broadcast here on Rio Sports Live. We are coming to you live from Brownsville, Texas. We're at Brownsville St Joseph for Midnight Madness as we are getting set here for our broadcast here for the start of the 2022 football season. Tino Villarreal has been busy getting his troops prepared. They are getting lined up and ready to take the field on the stroke of midnight. We're a couple of minutes ahead as we are again broadcasting live here on Rio Sports on multiple platforms tonight. We're on our YouTube and on our Facebook. We'll be on there for just a little while longer on our multiple platform broadcasts, but also want to encourage you that we are on the Brownsville St Joseph Channel on the Stars Network. That's on our website right now at riosportslive.com. You'll see a couple of channels there. One of those is the Brownsville St Joe channel. That's already streaming live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with pre-recorded and now live content back and forth. And tonight's obviously a live broadcast. The team is eager to start this season. Coach is excited about his players starting this season. We'll visit with Coach on a longer basis here in just a moment. But again, we welcome you to the opening of 2022 football season, which is just 3 minutes away. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the players taking the field. This is Rio Sports Live from Brownsville St Joseph on Midnight Madness 2022.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, the team is eager to take the field. They are in the end zone right here in front of me, and now the Bloodhounds are ready to roll to start this season. They'll have practice here this evening, and it will be an active practice. It won't be just a show and go, as we're here for about 2 hours worth of workouts for these players. A lot of new names we'll be talking about for this season, and their first game of the year is right here on their home field on August 26th when they'll take on Brownsville Porter. New lights in the stadium just installed. It's a brighter facility for sure compared to what we've seen on Friday nights and our Midnight Madness coverage, as we are excited to see that the new lighting surely brings a new element to covering games here on this field. 2 minutes, or under 2 minutes now, as we're in the 2-minute warning heading into the 2022 season. And here come the Bloodhounds on their way to greet the fans who are here for Midnight Madness. Again, they start their season on August 26th against Porter, right here on their home field. We'll be back with more right after this.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
We are the Harlingen Lady Cardinals, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
Back here as Midnight Madness has begun here at Brownsville St Joseph. The Bloodhounds out on the field right now in the black with the white helmets. Rudy's trying to get cameras set up in position after we had to move them. Team taking the field. And a good squad on hand here for the Bloodhounds. Remember last year when we were out here, Luigi Cristiano, the quarterback, was here, and he had a whole bunch of names that he was trying to learn. Receivers, tailbacks, skill position players who just were not in the normal rotation for this team. And they're all here tonight. New quarterback in the mix. We'll be talking about him in a little bit. But a lot of skill position players with some experience coming into this season. See the schedule running down there on the bottom of your screen. I want to tell you a little bit about the St. Joe Channel. It's sponsored by the Booster Club here at Brownsville St. Joseph. We'll be seeing some additional sponsors join on to help us with our presentation of Bloodhound Sports. They're the first school that signed on with Rio Sports Live to have a fully functional 24-hour channel 7 days a week with pre-recorded and live content going on. And when August 26th rolls around, we are assured we'll be here for the broadcast of that game. First thing, again, I notice is that the numbers are up for this Bloodhound team. It was, I would dare say, half of that last year when the team first took the field. We followed the Bloodhounds throughout most of their season last year, and they still found a way to be competitive, but at times they were a patched together team with injuries and players playing through injuries, trying to return early from injuries, and to see depth out there on the field is a big first indicator that things are about to change here at Brownsville St. Joseph. We've been here at St. Joseph since the start of Rio Sports Live back in 2017 in October, when we first threw our cameras up there in the bleachers covering Kai Money and that team as they made some great memories on Rio Sports Live. And here we are as we start our next season here on Rio Sports Live. And players running routes, there's a schedule across the board for everything that's going on here for this Midnight Madness tonight. They'll have this in which they'll take place, and then they'll pair off into stations. They'll do some individual work, and then they'll take a break. They'll come back out. They'll run some offensive and defensive plays. Obviously, there's no pads out here, but we'll still get to see the team participating in some drills. This was not going on last year. It was strictly workouts and calisthenics and just some basic station workouts. We weren't able to see any offense on the field, taking snaps, running plays, running routes. And so it is a pleasure to be able to see this out here for this St. Joe team as the Bloodhounds are on the field here to start this 2022 season. Other schools are starting their practice as early as tomorrow morning. I know tomorrow night, Raymondville. Coach Frank Cantu and his troops will be out on the field. 7 o'clock is the start there. We'll be broadcasting from there as well as we continue to expand our coverage here on Rio Sports Live of the football teams that are in the mix. Volleyball season just around the corner. We just wrapped up our volleyball coverage on the summer, and so we'll be active in getting with the volleyball players. We'll visit with Coach here in just a few moments. He's out there on the field directing the show. First question I'll ask him is just how many kids are out here. Find out what he's starting with. It's a much bigger number. We'll take a quick break. Again, the sponsors that are on these commercial breaks are the reason why we're doing what we're doing here at Rio Sports Live. We don't charge schools to broadcast games. We don't charge fans to watch them. The only thing that funnels everything we're doing on the financial side is the sponsors that you see. So when I take a break, it's to try to make sure they get proper placement of ads to ensure that their marketing investment has a return. At the very least, take a note of who these sponsors are and tell them thank you. Back with more from Brownsville St. Joseph as Midnight Madness continues, 2022 version right here on Rio Sports Live. See you later, touchdown!
I love what I do. I really
love what
do.
I'm doing. I love children.
One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
We're the Harlingen South Lady Hawks, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Awesome!
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
We envision that San Perlita ISD will help our students acquire the necessary knowledge, communication, and problem-solving skills through a variety of educational and social experiences to become productive citizens in our global society. Be a part of the change to help create a community where we guide each other to our unlimited potential.
We are Santa Rosa.
Back here in Rio Sports Live, you can see their fans are in the stands here tonight in Brownsville at St. Joseph Academy. And the fans were lined up here early on. They've got a DJ pumping out some sounds, adding some atmosphere. That's a much bigger crowd than what we had last year for Midnight Madness. Everything is up in numbers, getting ready for this new season for the Bloodhounds of Brownsville St. Joseph. Appreciate you tuning in wherever you may be. Those that haven't tuned into our broadcasts before, if you're watching on our social media, go ahead and share the link. If you're watching on our Facebook side, like and follow our page. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's primarily where highlights are going to be going in the very near future, as the live broadcast and all of the content pretty much is going to end up going directly to the channels. Right now they're on the website. More channels are going to be added in the very near future. But as those channels come on board, that's where the years of broadcast will be re-aired on each individual channels for the schools. Brownsville St. Joseph, the first to sign on. So you'll see the St. Joe games. You're already seeing some of the St. Joe games that have been airing for the past week or so on the brand new channel. Our primary channel of Rio Sports Live will be the site of big games. It'll also have highlights and some of the bigger games that we had over the past year since 2017. There's been some big ones, and you'll get to see those. And then we'll have studio shows, live studio shows coming up within the schools channels, within the Rio Sports primary channel. And then we'll spice it up with some additional programming, such as Inside the Gym, which we aired for a first time here on the Brownsville St. Joe channel. Inside the Gym, we were able to take a look at a special college workout for the players around the RGV who had a chance to work out in front of several of the colleges. And Inside the Gym will be airing on the Brownsville St. Joseph channel, as well as the pre-recorded games leading up to what will be the first volleyball games. It'll be our first live broadcast on Brownsville St. Joe's channel in the very near future. Take a break. When we come back, we'll visit with Tino Villarreal. This is Rio Sports Live.
The most important moments in a child's life happen in their earliest years. Having a strong early childhood education enhances their future and success. That's why we are opening the Harlingen CISD Early Childhood Academy for pre-K students. At HCISD, we provide these opportunities for our youngest learners to foster their imagination and let their curiosity run while they develop their love for learning. These are the early steps to success, and Harlingen CISD is with them every step of the way.
We are Eddie Burgella, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire. educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
I love what I do. I really
love what
do.
I'm doing. I love children. One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted. Back here on Real Sports Live as we are seeing the Brownsville St. Joe Bloodhounds take various positions and move on into the next phase of this Midnight Madness. Coach Tino Villarreal will make his way over here to visit with us in just a moment. Rudy will track him down, then he'll get back on that main camera out there. As we have opened up our coverage here on Brownsville St. Joseph on Midnight Madness to start the 2022 season. Coach out there with his players. And we'll have him join us here. As you can see, the team anxious to get this season started, and now I understand why. Coach Tino Villarreal makes his way over. We'll put a headset on and let him go to work. Big smile, Coach. First question, I promised everyone I would ask. What are the numbers out here? Because they are bigger than last year to start Midnight Madness.
Yeah, well, this year we're pushing 60. You know, we don't have that out here right now. We still have a couple of kids out there on vacation, but, you know, we've got confirmed about a good number right in the 60s, which ought to be pretty good. That's the first time we'll have in the 60s since the Kai Money era, so that's always exciting for us.
Well, let's talk about, you know, the off season and getting to Midnight Madness and just talk about the journey that your players have been through thus far.
Yeah, it's been a long process. You know, our school, St. Joe, in the last couple of years, the enrollment we were graduating classes of 100 and the incoming 7th grade classes were of 60. So when you're starting to lose 40 kids a class, we moved down in the rankings at TAPS a little bit from playing from Division I to Division II. We're back on the rise. This is the second year St. Joe increases enrollment. We have a waiting list. Everybody's excited here at the school. You could see the numbers out here. So the journey has been we got more kids excited, more men on campus. People want to play football, and when that happens, you get to tighten the bolts just a little bit, tighten the screws just a little bit, and push a little bit hard in the offseason. And we've had a great offseason, so we're very excited for this year.
You also get to do some things that you weren't able to do in Midnight Madness, and that is line up, run some offense. Quarterback, get in sync with some receivers. That wasn't happening last year. I said it on the air to start this. Luigi Cristiano was looking around saying, I'm not sure who I'm going to be throwing the ball to. Tonight, that's not the case. There are receivers, quarterbacks getting in sync right now.
Yeah, Group 1, Group 2, right? It's been a while since we've gotten to see that. And, you know, we've got a couple of key players, like I said, they're making their way back. They're with their families on vacation. We're very excited for some of the guys that aren't here. I mean, what you got to see out there we're young, which is a good thing. We're young, but the youth has had to take that role, so they know our plays, they know our system. The future looks really bright for St. Joe, and I'm very excited to be the head coach of it.
One thing about the players that are returning is that last year you worked through a ton of injuries. Players were playing hurt, getting back earlier than they needed to in some cases, but finding ways to get back on the field. But the guys that did play, that are coming back, got big-time experience, which has got to help you coming into this season as well. Absolutely.
I mean, we're looking for leadership, especially from that group right there that we talked about. I mean, Kiko de la Garza has come a long way. He's kind of our main captain on the defensive side of the ball. He's our free safety. He's had to play that position there. There's a couple of guys out there, Miguel Cortez, who comes back, Miguel Contreras. We've got some key pieces that played some crucial positions because they had to last year, and we're going to lean on them this year.
Talk to me about the schedule. Obviously, August 26th is the big day. It's circled. That's the first game right here at home against Porter. But talk to me about the schedule, the construction of that, and what your view of it is as you look at it as a whole.
Well, we moved into a tougher district, right? We were in a tough district as it was last year. We still have the two monsters, which is Regents and Austin St. Michael's, which are obviously picked to finish 1 and 2 respectively. Flip-flop depending on who you ask. But we picked up TMI, the Texas Military Institute, which is pretty tough. We picked up San Antonio Christian, which has also just been known to be very tough as well. And so we're continuing to play Hyde Park, St. Anthony's. We lost Corpus Christi, John Paul. We picked up Victoria St. Joe, another tough team that was in a Houston district. So knowing that we were going to have that, we had to play just bigger than we've been playing before. So we love playing the 4As. They're the best competition that we can find for our school here. But also, we're traveling so much, Joe, that if we could keep it in Brownsville, we did just that. So getting Lopez, they're our week 1 game, and then veterans, Brownsville veterans in week 3. We kept Santa Rosa there in the week 2. So those are our 3 non-district opponents, and obviously we're starting the 12th scrimmaging Raymondville. So we scrimmage Raymondville, then we scrimmage Porter, which this is year 5 going on that scrimmage. Carlos Uresti, Raul Gomez, great friends of ours. We have a great scrimmage against them every year, and so we continued with those 2. Picked up Lopez, picked up Brownsville veterans. So we're playing 3 Brownsville schools in the first 5 weeks.
Raymondville is another good one to go against. Coach Frank Cantu always has those extra elements that you want to face, even in a scrimmage.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, they're tough all the way around. You know, they have a high-powered offense, and Frank does a great job with the defense. They give us a lot of problems. So, you know, I think we have the right non-district. The goal, obviously, is to stay healthy. It culminates with Brownsville veterans, which is big. They're going to be bigger than us. We know that. Just beyond just the size of the roster, just the size of the athlete. But that's what we want to do. I mean, that's exactly what St. Michael's is going to provide for us. That's exactly what Regents is going to provide for us, and TMI. So, you know, I feel really good about our non-district schedule as far as getting us ready.
Let's talk about the stadium in itself. Lighting. Coach, this is amazing what you guys have done to light this place up.
This is an early Christmas present from our school board, buildings and ground committee, our president, principal of the school. They're huge supporters. I played in this stadium. My senior year was the first year that they installed these lights. Before, you didn't know this, but there were 5 telephone poles inside the track. Okay, the first time these towers came up here was my senior year, and these are LED. So I've never, in the history of St. Joe, seen Canales Field this bright. Nobody has.
Yeah, this is an amazing sight. I was excited about so many things. I saw all the players out there. I know you got some more that's going to join the mix. And then the lighting. From a broadcast perspective, it sure is going to help us light this field up. That's for sure. All right, let's go to the main question that would have to come into the mix, and that is, last year, there was no question who your starting quarterback was. We knew all about him. Luigi was ready to go. He played through more injuries than anybody I've ever known, but Luigi's gone. So now, shoes to fill. What's it look like on the competition level getting ready for that next spot?
You know, we have a couple of kids, Ethan Gallegos, who transferred from Weslaco. He came over to us in January. He's been here. He's played the entire offseason with us. So having him kind of learn the offense and work through it, I mean, he's kind of the leader coming into it. You know, we also have a kid who came over here from Cancun, Sebastian Solis. Alex Garcia was our JV quarterback last year. Kiko de la Garza had been filling that role. So, you know, we've got options, which is a good thing. You know, I think it's great. You can't really fill the shoes of a Luigi, just like you couldn't fill the shoes of Kai. But what I tell teams is you can't fill those kind of shoes, and teams that try to do so, I think you know, that's the wrong recipe. It's you've got to just find other pieces that emerge, and hopefully you don't have one person filling the shoes of Luigi. You're going to have a whole entire offense trying to fill the shoes of a guy like that.
And I know your system, that guys that are in the mix of the quarterback spot also fill other roles, and they're active in your offense as well.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how that lands, the Kikos, Alex, those names, you will hear them on the field, whether they're under center, the Ethan Gallegos, whether he's under center or not. We don't have the luxury to have people watching us from the sidelines. They're going to play, and we're going to find the right spot for them.
Tailback last year, you had to go to a second tailback due to injuries. This year, how deep are you at tailback, at least on the onset?
Well, last year we really depended on JP Vidauri, who did a great job for us, and then in Brentwood he broke his collarbone, never came back. JP's coming back this year. He's bigger, stronger, 1 year more mature. So we're excited to see JP out here, but in emerges a guy like Alex Cisneros. You know, we have Diego Valenzuela, who can play that role. We've got some younger kids coming up the ranks that want to fill that role. But again, good problems to have. When you have numbers, you have competition. So nothing set in stone. I mean, we can't wait to see JP out there, but he's got his work cut out for him. He's got some competitors.
I test when I'm watching warm-ups and the quarterbacks are slinging the ball around. Are the receivers tracking it down? They were. Talk about the core of receivers that are in the mix here trying to find some spots to play.
Well, tonight we don't see, you know, the star, right? Adrian Del Pozo, who's on our schedule, roster, and the billboard and everything like that. But Adrian's not here. He's on his way back from out of town. But obviously we're going to look to him to make big plays. But really the guys that hold it down for us are Kiko de la Garza and Lucas Cristiano. Those two guys started for us every game last year. Mm-hmm. You know, they along with Adrian, those are three returning starters from last year's offense. We have Edgardo Garcia, who's here, who also played some games. And we have some other guys, Brandon Granado, who's really stepped up. I'm so excited there's that many weapons that we can throw to, because usually you pick one or two, and then 3 and 4 kind of get lost in the mix. We have the ability to throw the ball to all 4 receivers at any time.
And that's just 4. There's more in the ranks that are coming up. Talk about the line. You know, what do we look for there? Because that's always a question with you as far as, you know, how does my line look to start the season and how I think they'll get when we get to the district play.
Same all around. We're excited. We've got a couple of young kids that are emerging. I mean, the youngest guy you'll hear about is a sophomore. He's out here. He's 6'5", 270-pound sophomore.
He won't hide.
He won't hide. So he's out here, but he's still a pup. You know, but we look to him for him to play big. Obviously, we're looking for Miguel Cortez, our 4-year returning starter, to lead kind of the mix there. And then we have Ronaldo Rocha, Mauricio Ibarra, Patricio Garza. These are some young guys that, you know, we're not going to have a big line, Joe, but it'll be much bigger than what we've seen the last 3 years. So we're excited about that.
And that's some experience line as well. Not everybody's a young guy that's not got any experience out there.
Absolutely. A little bit more experience, a little bit more size. You know, we're growing up, so it's a great day to be a Bloodhound.
If somebody has to carry it, does the offense carry the team, or does the defense carry the team to start the season? I know you're an offensive guy, but talk about who may be able to carry this team if it needs to happen.
That's a tough question because, you know, I am an offensive guy, and depending on who wins that quarterback spot, I would tell you that we have a lot of weapons on offense. But you look at our defense and you look at Contreras, Enrique, Kiko, Tadeo, Hobie. We got Cisneros, so many guys that are returning from last year that we feel real good about the defense too. So, you know, I think right now, early on, until we kind of find out what we're really our identity is on offense, I would say that if we had to the first couple of scrimmages, we're going to rely on our defense to help us out.
It does sound like what we were talking about in the younger years of Kai Money when we were talking about your teams. My defense can make some big plays if they need to, but my offense may be able just to go out and outscore somebody if they need to, and that's what you're gearing up for.
That's what we hope so. You know, we're hopeful for that, and then also, you know, in Adrian Del Pozo returning, he poses a big threat as a kicker. So we always look to special teams. You know, we're a small team, and when you're a small team, we depend on that third phase of football. special teams, and there's nobody who can kick a better onside kick than Adrian Del Pozo. So how do you prepare for that?
Exactly.
You know, we've got to use all the tools we have.
Another thing is you and I are sitting here visiting while that's going on the field. Now let's talk about the reason for that is the coaches that you have in the mix that are assisting you out there on the field with these kids.
Well, I'm real confident. You know, there's no secret. It's not every staff gets to say they had an NFL football player on their staff and a former head football coach on their staff. And so just having Jason Starkey out there, I'm real confident. I could sit here with you, I think, the whole time, and I'm confident that the boys are going to be looked after and held at a real high standard. But at the same time, you know, my two coordinators have been with me since I started too. So Sam Lucio, Andrew Soto, just two stand-up guys that know exactly how we want things done, exactly the plays that we want. They think it's funny. Whatever I'm thinking, it's funny. It's what they're thinking. So we're on the same page from the two coordinator standpoint, but then having a big personality out there like Starkey really helps. And all the other guys that are here, you know, this is the first year that I haven't had to look out and hire new coaches. So that's another thing that happened. Everybody asked, you know, what happened? We lost Kaimani. Well, we lost a lot of great coaches to a lot of our local valley schools, and they fill good roles out there. They learned a lot of good football here, and they're filling good roles. So we were in a learning curve, and this year we're not, right? We get everyone back in that regard, and people sometimes forget about that, and we're excited.
That helps the players so much in understanding what everyone talks about, the system. A system is created from coaches and staffs that create routine, if you will, that I know what to expect when I get to the locker room. I know what to expect even on a Midnight Madness. These kids aren't coming out here unknowns.
Well, and I think that's also part of why you saw us get out here and run some plays right away, right? I mean, it's also due to the coaches that they know exactly. I mean, this is not the first time they've been doing this. You know, they've had their fair share of spring football with the same coaches that they played football with last year, and so summer training sessions are with the same faces. They're not having to meet that many new ones. So that's a real good point and positive thing for us.
Fans that are watching, there's a little treat for you. The wireless cameras that we have not had in play, we brought them out. This is the first time they've been on a football field, and so we're right up there up front, close and personal with your players in that huddle right now.
So what
with
they're
our
doing,
wireless cameras.
So,
yes.
So you know, is that what the fans are watching?
That's what they're watching right now. What you're seeing here is on the program.
What
yes.
they're watching right now is what we call perfect jumping jacks, and so part of our program is how can we get the kids laser focused for practice. And so they go over perfect jumping jacks. It's about the exact, like, jumping jack must be perfect. And so Coach Soto does a great job with that. That's exactly what we were watching the whole time we were talking here. I was watching it through this little screen right here, and that's awesome. This is like some NFL. It's like inside the huddle, you know.
Yep, that's the beauty of what we'll be doing for these St. Joe games. I'm telling fans that the channel is up and running. It's going to get a lot better than what it is, but this is the taste of it, and why not bring it here, the first place we broadcast a game from, and let fans see that truly you're going to get to see camera angles that you've never seen before with real sports broadcast, and just bring the atmosphere. Talk to me about what the players are going through right now as we see them take various stages.
Okay, well, right now, you know, we came out, we try to run as many plays as possible in 10 minutes. We got them stretched out. Now they're going through a conditioning circuit that is powered by George Mata, the foot doctor. So he's been kind of working with our kids throughout the summer. We bring him in once a week, and he comes and he provides a lot of good movement work, football work for them. A lot of kids have to travel to Edinburgh to do that. You know, those that live in the Upper Valley, you're lucky if you're listening to me. You live in a great spot where you drive 10 minutes to get work by the foot doctor. If you live in Brownsville, by the time you got traffic and you get all the way up to his field, it's an hour and a half. And we're fortunate enough to have him come down here, and so what better way to kick off spring ball than to do a circuit provided by the foot doctor himself. And so he trained our coaches on it, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now, just getting them conditioned through foot doctor work.
And as Rudy makes his way over to the stands, again, that was something that was not near as full last year. When we took a look at those stands, fans are energetic about this season as well.
Yeah, they're so excited. We had a lot of people out here. Right now there's still some in the stands, some back here at the bottom. There's some people outside in the tailgates. I mean, there's a lot of action happening right now. Like I said, the buzz is out. St. Joe, we're trying to make some noise again. You know, we kind of hid there a little bit, And we kept grinding, though. You know, we made the playoffs last year when people didn't give us a chance. But now that group is back, obviously without the big shoes of Luigi Cristiano. But you know what Luigi did is he left a good legacy with all these young kids that got to play with him, and we're going to ride those coattails.
Mid-season last year, you were dealing with so many injuries that you were dealing with some games. It's like, I'm not sure who's going to dress out going to these games, and yet they did it. And again, kudos to those players. I don't think we ever said enough about those players making the playoffs last year.
Absolutely.
And setting a tone for these kids here.
Yeah, you know, we weren't picked. We were picked. Our playoff shirt, Joe says in the back, it says they said 0-10. Because we were not predicted to win a single game. I mean, we had a lot of seniors from the year before, 23 seniors. That's a big group for our school. 17 starters leave. And then we only have Luigi. Like you said, we come out here, we can't even run plays. And then we dealt through injury. We moved people left and right, and we figured it out. Some games kind of were weird because we were able to beat a Brentwood, and then we come out and lose, you know, in an ugly fashion to Geneva. And people go, what happened to the team from last week? Well, what you don't know is 5 of those kids got injured, and they play both ways, so it's like losing 10 starters.
Right.
So we had just a young kids out there, and we did whatever we could, and we rested the kids, and we played our cards right. We banked on winning the games we knew we had to win to get in, and the biggest one was that last one at John Paul, which you guys were here to cover, and that was a 48-47 win that shot us into the playoffs, and that was quite possibly one of the most memorable wins that I've had as a head coach because we really defied so many odds on a team that no one expected anything from.
It capped off a regular season in which, again, no one, including as I was sitting here that night, I packed up and I went home and people were asking me, what do you think of St. Joe? I was like, so many questions. I don't know. I don't know what to see, but you know, you don't see a lot. Luigi's going to have to do an awful lot. That's what I said to a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That game.
No, and then we kick off the season, and Port Isabel beats us 60-0. You know,
right.
something like that. I don't even remember. I don't want to remember that game. But you look at that game, and then and the fans. A lot of the fans that were out here that are not football. They're just St. Joe alums that said, you know what, Coach, we went to the Port Isabel game, and we went to the John Paul game. And we're so proud of the difference between the Bloodhounds on week 1 and the Bloodhounds on week 10. You know, and that in and of itself is why we get into coaching. There's no better satisfaction than that kind of progression.
Final thing we'll talk about, and that is, as always, I look around and there are players that have played in your ranks that are right back here for this Midnight Madness, and talk about the importance of them being around to carry the program and to more or less hand the torch over officially on Midnight Madness.
It's a great feeling, right? Like we were here covering. Okay, so you've been here covering since the first Midnight Madness. This is the 8th annual.
Yes.
And so how cool was it that once Kai Money graduated, he was out here with his teammates, kind of passing the torch, kind of hanging out with the kids in the locker room before. And right now you look over here and we have Melek Awachi, just, you know, one of the toughest running backs we've had in the last couple of years. And he's here with Emiliano Loya and Sean Taeyong, who is also just a great defender, right? You see those guys, they're out here having a great time. Nick Jackson, the receiver last year, Luigi Cristiano's out here. You know, you look around and you just see so many faces, and that is what makes St. Joe truly a special place, right? It's a home for a lot of these kids. Kai was in town. I just talked to him a little bit ago because he had to go to a wedding in Mexico. But he's back tomorrow, and he'll be at practice on Tuesday. So, I mean, you got a guy like Kai out here who's going to come by, and some of the older kids that want to come also see practice, and that's what being a Bloodhound's really all about.
So in some cases, it's a passing of the torch. In other cases, the torch is never handed off. Kids are carrying these torches into young men, into grown men
Absolutely.
who are carrying the torch that they were Bloodhounds and they still are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have the other day I got a message from Kai Money, who was at South Padre Island, and he bumped into Jorge. You'll remember this, I think, back in 2006, Coco Martinez.
Yes.
Okay, so he spotted Coco over at the island, and I said, you know, I was out of town. I said, you know, it would mean the world to me if you took a picture with him. So they send me a picture. They're both holding the hookem, the Longhorn symbol, and they're out there together. And that's talk about 2 decades of Bloodhounds that ended up with scholarship at UT as walk-ons, right? That couldn't make me more proud. And like you said, they're still carrying the torch. Coco spoke to our team in the playoffs last year. Kai's going to come talk to our team on Tuesday, you know, and all of those things kind of build that family culture and environment that any coach just loves to have in their program.
Makes it easier than most coaches who have to walk the hallways and try to find out ways to get kids to come out.
Yeah.
You've got that built-in pipeline of players that played before. We're going to talk to some of those. I know you want to get out there and get with your kids.
Yeah.
I appreciate the visit here. Come back and visit with us if you want to break away anytime. This microphone's open.
Well, thank you. I'll come back, and I just wanted to kind of, for anybody who's listening, and whether it's live or they're not, you know, I'm just privileged and honored to kind of see real sports live do what it's doing, and just being part of it, a small part of it, but just watching you, Joe, and Dahlia, your wife, and just the faith that you guys have had, and looking at the camera angles and the fact that we're going to have a channel and other schools are going to have the ability to have a channel, and we're going to be able to broadcast and provide real life kind of, you know, you were at some point the real life ESPN for a lot of schools, and at this point you're going to provide each school and equip them with their own kind of opportunity to display everything that they're about, and I just want to thank you for it. I want to shake your hand. I want to thank you for it. It's a dream come true for you, and I've just been able to witness it, and I am proud to be your friend, part of the journey, and honored that the Bloodhounds get to be one of the first ones on it. So
they are the first.
Well, I'm honored that we are, Joe. Thank you for always considering us.
Well,
really,
I am too, and you know, it's been a pleasure. I remember the days when you were the assistant coach, and I was coming over here, hey, coach, I need a quick interview because someone wasn't available or whatever, and you were always, hey, whatever you need, Joe, let's go, and talk, and then suddenly, well, in the blink of an eye, it's like, you're the head coach. And then I was like, hey, coach, I got an idea. I'm going to start this Real Sports Live. And you're like, well, come on. Here we go.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Our little press box that I don't even know how we equipped it with Ethernet just for you. And to this day, you know, some of the greatest, you've been showing them.
Yes.
Some of the greatest games, even some are losses, but some of the greatest games we've had are on Real Sports Live. So thank you so much. I'm going to get some guys to come over here and chat with you, and I'll be back.
You bet. Thanks, Coach.
Joe, thank you.
Coach Tino Villarreal will be back. Midnight Madness continues from Brownsville St Joseph after this on Real Sports Live.
Rentals, call and visit the website today. Island Services.
We are the Harlingen Cardinals, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Rodo Rodriguez, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
We're those Red falling by, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Back here at Brownsville St Joseph, Midnight Madness continues here. 2022 version, the 8th annual. I can't believe I've been around for all 8. Luigi, probably you have too. 4 of them as a player, but this is your first as a player that is graduated. So talk about the feeling to be back here.
It's a good feeling. I mean, for all these players, I mean, this is what you look forward to. Tino was saying in the pregame speech, six big days, and this is number 1. So it's a big day for all of them. You can see them all trying their hardest right now. It's hot. They're all running hard. I mean, it's a big day.
Talk about the difference. I talked to Coach about it, and you know better than anyone that last year, Midnight Madness, you weren't even able to run plays.
Oh, yeah.
Because you as a quarterback were looking around saying, I'm not sure who I'm going to throw to. and so talk about the difference in what you see in this team getting ready for this year compared to yours.
I mean, these guys got numbers. I mean, they have numbers right now, and they're going to get more numbers because they got some guys out of town. So once they get back and once they get really together, I mean, I think they're going to gel really well. I know a lot of guys on this team. Last year's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot less uncertainty this year. So it was good for them. And I'm here, number 1 fan. I mean, I'm nowhere here to hate.
Make you a little jealous, though. It's got to make you a little jealous. It's like, where's all those receivers last year?
Yeah, I was definitely impressed. And I mean, just looking on the first team, I mean, they look organized. I mean, that's what you want to look on the first day of practice. I mean, they got a scrimmage in 12 days. I mean, they got to get ready.
Talk about the preparation that you know is coming for these players, and walk us through the next 12 days as a Bloodhound, and just knowing the system as far as what these players can expect in the next 12 days.
So yeah, Tino preaches 6 days. I mean, second biggest day is on Thursday. I mean, they got full pads on Thursday, and the third biggest day is that scrimmage. So they got to expand the playbook because right now they didn't run nothing too crazy. I mean, they got to expand the playbook, get comfortable with it, get the defense going. They got to get everything in place because they got a big scrimmage on Thursday, like I'm saying, on 12th, like I'm saying. And I mean, they want to perform well. I mean, everyone does. You got a fan. There's fans there. You want to perform for your fans.
These coaches are out there. Energy, energy, energy. Talk about the coaches being back and being around Tino. That's got to help too.
Yeah, Tino looks rejuvenated. He looks ready to go. It's good to see because, I mean, every year he's always hype, but he looks a little bit extra hype this year. He's gonna need it. This is more of a newer team, I think you could call it. A lot of fresh faces and people he needs to rely on that maybe he hasn't relied on past years because we had veterans like myself on those teams. So I think he's ready to lead in a different way, and he says every year he grows as a coach, and this is, I think, the biggest growing year he's ever going to have because he's going to have to mesh my playbook, the pocket passer, and mesh the Kai Money playbook, the runner for Ethan, who's we all have real high hopes for.
Talk about what it means to be able to come back here. Kai Money came back here right after he's coming back on Tuesday. Talk about what it means as players. You guys, I told Coach, it's not even passing the torch. You guys carried the torch for the rest of your life, and how special is that?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm going to Austin in a month, and it's a family over there. It's a community. The St. Joe community really does exist. So it's not really passing the torch. I mean, maybe it's passing the torch on the football field, but it's a community, and I'm here to help. Here to help Ethan. I'm here to help Tino. I'm here to help everyone that needs my help. I'm also here to learn and just learn about life. I'm blessed to know a lot about football and my position, so I'm here to help, and especially with two of my brothers on the team, I expect to be around this team a lot and to help the preparation that goes to every game. I mean, Raymondville, I should be right there on the sidelines helping. I mean, maybe even Tino needs a couple pointers, I'll be right there.
Did you miss it a little bit when they ran out on the field to start this midnight practice?
I missed it until they started running. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Good visit, Luigi.
Yep.
Best of wishes.
Yep.
We'll talk to you soon. Back with more from Midnight Madness, Brownsville St. Joseph 2022 version. We'll be back with more after this. Music lovers, you have to. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Good visit. Coach is going to send a player, so let's find out who he's going to send next.
I'll ask him.
Okay. All right. This camera looks really good. That one. What's that? What's muted? Records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
LEAD has relationships with multiple industry leaders. Whether you're looking for project-based work or long-term employment, you decide. Our industry-skilled jobs include industrial, marine industries, oil and gas, commercial construction, and renewable energy. We offer work close to home, so you can spend more time with those you love. LEAD Staffing, putting people to work and changing lives daily.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, the players continue to move through the various stations and competing in these drills here on the field. They're transitioning right now from one place to the next, so you'll see the next bunch of players arrive at this station where this camera is located. Meanwhile, the other players who were here have just rotated over to another camera, which we have in place for that drill. Our appreciation again to Tino Villarreal for the visit, and with Luigi Cristiano, who came over and visited with us here on camera. We're going to have a talk with some of the players here on Midnight Madness, and we do appreciate you fans who are tuning in here on Rio Sports Live for our broadcast. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will have one of those players from the current Bloodhounds right after this on Rio Sports Live.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, you see the players at their various stations here in Brownsville St Joseph. Right now, joined with one of the current players, one of the new Bloodhounds, Ethan Gallegos, joins us. And Ethan, first of all, thanks for joining us and talk about the excitement of being here for Midnight Madness.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be the first team in the Valley to start practicing. And I've been itching all week, and I'm excited it's finally here.
Talk to me about what it's like to get out there on the field with these players. I know the lights are on, and you know, how long has it been since you've had a feeling like this walking on a football field?
Probably since about last game football season, and it's real good. A lot of the guys out here have my back, welcomed me, first day here, and I've grown a bond with a lot of them, man.
Last year, I was talking to Luigi Cristiano, who was the quarterback going in. You're one of the quarterbacks that are vying for a spot here. He had no one that he could look around and say, I'm going to throw the ball to him, I'm going to throw the ball to him. You guys have a little bit of a luxury. Talk about what it was like to go out there, sling some balls around, and see receivers go get them.
Yeah, it was nice. I'm really impressed with a lot of receivers, and they've shown me a lot of things that I didn't expect from them, and they're all willing to work, and we've got each other's back.
When you transferred into this school, one of the first things that someone had to say was, you know, small school. What's it like being in a small school? Does it feel like a small school when you're out here participating?
You know, in the school, during the school day, it feels really small, but out here on the football field, it's a lot of guys, and we're able to get along real easily, and everybody has each other's back here.
Good stuff. And your goals this year as a team, have you set those yet?
Yeah, we want to win the district championship and make the playoffs.
That's Ethan Gallegos. We'll be seeing you throughout the season. Thanks for the visit. We'll be back with more after this.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, we are at Brownsville St Joseph. You see their schedule running across the bottom of the screen there, and my friends, 12 days, and they'll be scrimmaging. Kiko De La Garza, a senior on this year's squad, joins me. And Kiko, first of all, the excitement for Midnight Madness, does it get any better when you walk out here for a senior year?
It really doesn't. I've done this for 4 years in a row, and for some reason it just feels different this year. It feels great.
Last year, you guys didn't have many numbers. Talk about the difference in coming into this your senior year and seeing this many numbers.
Well, last year we didn't have that many numbers, but we never let that stop us here at St. Joe. We've always been a small school, and it's great to see all these young freshmen coming out and everyone, seniors coming back. It feels great to have numbers finally, and it feels great that we're going to have a good season.
You guys were able to do what many said couldn't be done last year, and that is make the playoffs. How important is that you can ride that wind of we made the playoffs, we got bigger goals this year?
Well, it just goes to show that we'll always be the underdogs. Everyone here knows that St. Joe's always being counted out, but last year proved to everyone that you can never count us out. And this year's going to be no different. Doesn't matter if we're young, we're going to come out there swinging, and we're going to do great this year. I feel it.
Coach says that the defense may be able to carry the team at first. The offense may be able to carry the team at first. As you're out there working out with these players, where's the excitement biggest right now, offense or defense on the field?
Well, as a player that goes both ways, and defense and offense, you really can't choose one. They're both really important part of our teams. Coach does a really good job at emphasizing that both have to do great for us to win a football game. And for sure the offense feels more exciting with the new weapons coming in, the new lineman from Monterrey, Ethan, who's great. It's just the offense has a lot more excitement than the defense. But the defense is going to go out there and do their job and get some stops.
Last year we didn't know many receivers that were going to be out there catching balls. One, but after that it was like, who's going to go get it? You see all these receivers out there. Talk about the depth of this team, even right now in Midnight Madness.
Well, the depth is great. We have a bunch of stars out here. Andel Pozo, Lucas, Andre. We have a bunch of players that could really go out there and do some damage. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a bunch of deep players coming in. The freshmen, everyone's going to be. A kid from Cancun coming in, it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of depth and a lot of time to give everyone their share of eating.
Do you blink your eyes and think, man, I was a freshman not so long ago? Is it different out here as a senior?
It has to be different. Now it feels like there's a lot more weight on my shoulders than there was freshman year, but it feels great to be a senior. It feels good to be the one leading the charge and being able to help these young kids get better and learn how to do their job, which is the point of St. Joe football.
As you take over the leadership roles as a senior on the team, does it help to see the Luigi Cristianos, the players that were here before, back here for Midnight Madness on the field supporting you guys?
It feels great. It just goes to show you how important and how special St. Joe football truly is. And the fact that players from 3 years ago that were my seniors when I was a freshman are still coming out here and showing support, it's amazing. It's a different experience that you won't get at any other school, and it just feels great to finally be back.
Thanks for the visit. Have a great year.
Thank you, sir.
Kiko De La Garza will be back with more right after this. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, the players have moved away from the stations. They're going over to get some additional training and coaching from the coaches. We remember they're going to have some live plays going on here very shortly. Coach talked about all of those stations where the players were out working out. Each of those were stationed as George Mata now joins us, and they call it the Mata Foot Stations, all of them. And George, first of all, thanks for joining us for the visit.
No, appreciate you guys. It's an honor to be on here and just be able to give back and help these guys out and just prepare them as much as possible for the season coming up for them.
Talk about what it's like when you're out here on a midnight practice compared to, I know you've been to a lot of practices, but what's it like, the feeling for a midnight practice?
This was actually my first time, and the environment was great. The kids are getting after it. They're putting in their effort. They're trying to prepare themselves to be successful in the upcoming season. So these guys just rotating, getting all the little out-of-shape issues out of the way now, and just trying to get better at moving, and then here comes the football plays now. So this is the time where they're going to put everything to action.
Players, whether they played 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, have to get that itch when they're out there. Talk about the feeling when the players first took the field tonight.
Man, so all these guys are excited. Even I had butterflies going into that locker room and hearing Coach Tino and Starkey talking and giving them the hype. I got butterflies, so I know for sure they were ready and got those little jitters that you guys always get. It's a feeling that will never go away, whether you're a coach or football player, and it's just great. These guys get excited, and once you step on that field, it goes away after that first movement.
Visiting with George Mata here. George, talk to me about what you do. I know you're here on a midnight practice, but talk to me about a typical week for George Mata.
I'm here training kids all over the valley, not just certain area. I'm based out of Edinburgh, Texas. I have my own field out there on Klausner and Chapin, north of Edinburgh. I've just been training for about 7, going on 8 years, training with the Foot Doctor Sports. We're a well-known organization out in the United States. We train a lot of professional athletes. We train a lot of college athletes, Division I, Division II, III, all the way down to high school youth athletes. We've been at it for about 10 years with Foot Doctor Sports, and it just continues to grow, helping these guys learn their body a little bit better, learn how to move more efficiently, being able to understand the game a lot better, and when you guys are able to use these football moves or anything that we teach specifically in Foot Doctor Sports.
Training continue during a season or change during the season, or do you hold off during the regular season?
So we give them this time at the beginning of the season to kind of adapt to just now football. And then we do like a little tune-ups every 2-3 weeks. They'll come back to me and just kind of get a tune-up refresher so that they're not losing a step out on that football field.
Talk to me about the field and the progress. I remember when that was a very dark place and there weren't many people there when it first started. Talk to me about the growth of your facility over there in Edinburgh.
Oh man, it's been tremendous. I've had the facility going on 4 years now. It started off during the COVID year. Unfortunately, we were the only facility out there being able to provide stuff for the youth. And then after that, everyone knew where it was at, and it was just, it's grown so much. We've seen athletes be able to work there, not just with myself. They just go out there and throw the ball around. We've been able to have a lot of 7-on-7 events, youth flag football, and being able to get these kids out of the streets and being able to just go out and just continue playing and showing how much they love football at my field.
I was going to say the lights are on most every night over there.
Almost, just about. We're already wrapping up football because we make sure that at my facility we make sure that we don't want to have an injury right before the season. So I am very considerate of these players when they play, how many times they play at my field, and I want to make sure these guys are always ready when they come back.
And talk about if parents or if individuals want to be a part of being at your facility, learning from you, getting instruction from you. Let's give a plug for what you do.
Oh, yeah.
How do they reach you?
So the easiest way to reach us is our website on sparkleague.com. It's SPARC league.com. I have every information all there, whether it be training, whether it be 7-on-7 events, any sporting events. It's going to be all on there. You guys can find me on Instagram, footdoctor_mata, and you guys can just reach out to my cell, 956-203-1349.
I know George has always been one of the guys that has said, yes, come broadcast what we got going on here, and he's even sponsored some playoff games from time to time. I want to personally thank you on that. And again, any last words before we wrap this up?
No, I am blessed to be here. It's an honor, and I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for every football player in the Valley, and you know, rock on, and let's go prove some points out there in the Valley and South Texas.
That's George Mata. Contact him on his website as they talk there. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Back with more after this.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
You're watching Real Sports Live.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
We are the Harlingen Lady Cardinals, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
I love what I do. I
love
really
what
do.
I'm doing. I love children. One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we continue to cover Midnight Madness 1 hour into the 2022 season, reminding you that we'll be broadcasting all of the St. Joe events here on the St. Joe Channel on Rio Sports Live, and we are hoping that we are going to expand our coverage once again. It all is driven by the almighty advertising dollar. Guys like George Mata have assisted in the past in being sponsors for some playoff games, but this year more so than ever, we are actively looking for marketing partners to join us on Rio Sports Live. The funding to get this done isn't easy, and with the current rise in the gas prices and various everything is up in prices, and so that means the cost of operations also took a major league jump this year for Rio Sports Live. So we are asking anyone that has a business, knows someone that runs a business that wants to be a part of what we're doing. I used to say I went from sponsorship to advertising. Now I'll take advertising, sponsorship, anything that's going to assist us to be able to cover the games on the consistent basis. Right now we know we're at St. Joe. Harlingen School District just signed on this past week, and we'll be speaking with some of the other schools that have been marketing partners with us in the past. But if you're a business, or if you know a business out there that can assist us in what we're doing here on Rio Sports Live, by all means have them reach out to us. We don't charge fans, we don't charge schools to broadcast our games, and in some cases we have spent tens of thousands of dollars covering school districts which we never asked for a penny from. But the advertising is needed to keep doing what we do. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the other stations that are going on here, and we'll also have another visit or two as we'll wrap up our coverage of Midnight Madness from Brownsville St. Joseph after this.
Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
We're the Harlingen South Lady Hawks, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Awesome!
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
We envision that San Perlita ISD will help our students acquire the necessary knowledge, communication, and problem-solving skills through a variety of educational and social experiences to become productive citizens in our global society. Be a part of the change to help create a community where we guide each other to our unlimited potential.
We are Santa Rosa and you're watching Real Sports Live.
The most important moments in a child's life happen in their earliest years. Having a strong early childhood education enhances their future and success. That's why we are opening the Harlingen CISD Early Childhood Academy for pre-K students. At HCISD, we provide these opportunities for our youngest learners to foster their imagination and let their curiosity run while they develop their love for learning. These are the early steps to success, and Harlingen CISD is with them every step of the way.
We are Edinburgh Good Luck.
Back here on Real Sports Live as the players continue to go through their stations here, the foot stations, brought to you by George Mata. Thanks again for the visit with George, and fans, again, we appreciate you tuning in wherever you may be. Those that are on our social media, please follow our page on our Facebook, like the page, follow the page, share the link, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Those of you that are new to seeing some of the coverage here on Real Sports Live, we've been here since 2017, and we are eager to start another year if we can get this funded in the right direction. And believe me, that is a giant capital I, giant capital F. We can get it funded for this year to sustain the coverage that we've provided. It's going to take some advertising to get it done with the current prices of just travel alone. My wife and I did the first 700 games here on Real Sports Live, and we put 100,000 miles plus per year on our vehicle traveling to these games, and just do the math on the amount of funding that is needed just to get it done. And at the current state, it's even a more difficult task. We'll be back again. Tino Villarreal will join us once again. We're also going to be taking a look at some additional players out here, running some plays, and then we'll wrap up our coverage. It's Midnight Madness. It's coming to you live from Brownsville St Joseph. And this is the Bloodhound channel on the Stars Network, powered by Real Sports Live. Back with more right after this.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
The Brownsville Independent.
Back here on Real Sports Live and back in the hot seat. I don't know if it's a hot seat. It's a cool seat with the breeze blowing here. That's right. Tino Villarreal joins me once again. And, Coach, thanks again for funneling players, former players. George Mata over here to join me. A big smile on your face. You like what you're seeing out here with your players?
I am. I love the environment. You know, I think that's the most important thing. Anybody can come out and get a workout. It's the attitude in which you do it. And the attitude of the players are great. The attitude of the coaches. I mean, you feel the energy when you get on the field, and that's always exciting.
Talk to the fans about the atmosphere here from a perspective of as soon as they hit the field, there was energy, there were cheerleaders, there was a DJ. Now we can put a name to that DJ. Coach, tell us a little bit about even the DJ here is supporting the community.
Absolutely. I mean, Rick Longoria, longtime city commissioner for the city of Brownsville, always involved in a lot of community events and stuff. And so having him out here, he's DJing for years, and just having him come out here, support us, provide that kind of energy. You know, we had the dance team, cheerleaders. Before here at 10 p.m., a lot of people got together and had like a taquiza, like a little barbecue. Oh. And they were out here early since 10 p.m. So just kind of seeing everybody out here provides a great environment. I mean, it's the 8th annual, so people kind of know what to expect. And every year we're hoping for bigger attendance. And obviously when you have a bigger team, well, you have more people in the stands.
8 years means that we went from pre-Kai money.
That's right.
Into Kai money, post-Kai money, and now post-Luigi Cristiano. It's been a wild ride.
You know what? 8 years has been a long time, you know, and doing it. And I just remember sitting here, one of the first ones that we did, actually right It was 2015. It was when I became head football coach that I thought, you know what, let's do it. And so 15 was the first year that we did this. So here we are, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22.
I remember getting the double dip assignment that night. It was get to Midnight Madness. St. Joe's going to have a Midnight Madness out there. Go see what that's all about. And then also go over to Pace. They're having a volleyball Midnight Madness.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where it all started for me, covering Midnight Madness here in the RGV.
I just found out that Santa Rosa's having one.
Tonight.
I just found that out. The Brownsville Herald guy told me. And that's great. They're on our schedule. That means they're excited to hit the field too. So that motivates me even more to know that we have a good non-district matchup against them.
Santa Rosa, they're on your schedule again. Talk to me about in realignment every year. Coaches are juggling that schedule. You have to kind of wait and see before those schedules come out. And so talk to me about the importance of like a Santa Rosa being back on your schedule, a team that you got to see, understand a little bit about what they bring to the table as they start this year.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing Santa Rosa since I played football here at St. Joe's a long time ago. I mean, just like we've been playing Port Isabel and Rio Hondo. And like I said, just coming up with a non-district schedule, you have to kind of look at what's going to service you best. And everyone in our district runs a spread. And I know that Marichilar right now is trying to get under center and do some more kind of power running. That's good for us. You know, I think that getting teams that do that can get us ready too. You know, we're not going to face too many under center, but putting under center early kind of makes you a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side. It makes you have to attack and not play like some St. Joe offense, right, where you can kind of, you know, be a little bit more, you know, not so kind of 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
If not, you're going to get caught. If you're a reactionary defense against an offense like that, you're going to be sitting back saying they never broke a big play, but yet they were on the field for 9 minutes. They scored a touchdown. We got the ball, and then they were back out there doing it again. Yeah. And that's what happens if you react. You have to preach, be aggressive.
You have to. I mean, back in the Monty Stomball, you know, when we played them, I mean, he's doing it now at Hidalgo, but back in those Port Isabel days, if you're not careful against Monty Stomball, you're going to get, you know, if he gets the ball, you're going to get 2 possessions, maybe if you're lucky in the first half. And if you don't score on both of them, he's going to get 3, and it's going to be 21-7. And then you're lucky to try to get another 2 possessions in the second half, and the game's over. You know?
It's not like he's going to change his style in the second half when he's got a lead. It's going to be more grinded out, and he won't even be looking for 4 yards. I've talked to coaches that like Monty Stomball who will say, if you guarantee me 3 yards, Joe, I'm going to run the ball 4 times, and I'm going to march the ball all the way down and score. And that's what a coach looks like in that system.
Yeah,
Marichilar will be the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to try to do the same thing. I mean, you know, we know what Brownsville Veterans does. I mean, they're going to sleep you, and then what I like about Coach Kelly Lee is that he'll throw the ball out of that, and they do a great job of that. So, you know, we're excited. We're going to be tested, and we're going to be tested on every aspect. We're going to get a running team out of Marichilar, I think. You know, we're going to get a spread. RPO, the new coach at Lopez, you know, who comes in from Nicky Rowe. So he's going to give us a little spread RPO kind of challenge. And then Veterans is going to run, you know, that flex bone, but with a big pass dynamic to it too. So we're in a good spot to be ready.
Let's talk about your home schedule. The teams that are coming right here onto this field to play. Let's run down that.
Okay. First game of the season opener will be Lopez High School. So Brownsville Lopez will be here first. Then Brownsville Veterans comes here. So those are 2 big crowds from Brownsville. They're our first 2 home games. From there, I think we open up. You're going to make me look at my deal here, but
let me see.
Yeah, let me see.
At Victoria St. Joseph after that.
Yes.
At Sachs, that's a neutral site there, right?
No. See, let me give you the updated one. I think
Regents will be here.
Yeah, Regents will be here. Regents is for sure, and I believe Hyde Park is here as well. But I'm about to pull it up here.
Trying to pull that up
here.
here.
Greatest one. Well, you know, we've gone through a couple of versions of it, but here it is. All right, so we have Lopez here August 26th. So we're here, Lopez, August 26th.
Got it.
Then we've got Brownsville Veterans here September 9th. We've got San Antonio Christian here September 30th. Regents October 7th. And then Hyde Park October 21st.
Regents comes to town. Coach, you've knocked off some big dogs here on this field, and they're arguably the top dog coming down here. If not, they're 1-2, like you said earlier.
Yeah, Regents is. I'll tell you what, Tim Phillips, the coach over there, he does a great job. They do a great job. They have great kids. They've got a program that starts from elementary. They're tough to defend, but let me tell you something. We need to overcome the uniform. And that was kind of the toughest thing when we were talking about Monty Stamba in the Port Isabel days. And it's not that they're not Port Isabel and everything Port Isabel is about. It's when you start fearing the decal on the helmet. It's where you start, anyone could dress up like Regents now. And I think that it's about getting our kids past that. Like, forget the uniform. Play football. And so, yeah, Regents comes into town. And yes, Joe, you were here for the Fort Worth Nolan. We knocked off a monster there. And that's because we had a seasoned Kai Money team that didn't care what uniform they were playing. They were here to play football, regardless of the score. I mean, at one point we were down 28-8, and then we come back and beat them 38-35.
Everybody else left.
Yeah,
you're
the only one who stuck around. Everybody left us. And I'll tell you what, we have the ability to do that because these kids, they've bought into the program. They're here. We've got some numbers. There's competition. Now it's about playing football. I'm going to respect Regents, but we can't fear Regents. And I'll respect them all day, every day. But we can't fear the decal. We can't fear the uniform.
Kiko, when he was talking to me, he said, we got to look at it like we're the underdog against everybody. Is that chip on the shoulder, or is that by design? You want your players eager to go out there and prove something.
You know what? It's not by design. I'm so happy you told me that. I like that mentality. I think that Kiko's been playing for us for 4 years, and he's our senior leader here, and that's a great mentality. I think that's how we've always played it. Even when Kai was here, we would play. It didn't matter who we were playing. Sometimes we felt that we were the favorite team as a coaching staff, but we went into the game plan as the underdog.
You send a Kiko over here to talk to me because of the fact that you talk about a player that's been through it. Talk about his journey from a freshman to a senior going into this year.
I'm going to give you an interesting fact about Kiko. So he's from the De La Garza family, okay? In the De La Garza household, there's a rule, and I think it's a cool rule, and anyone listening to me, moms, dads, whoever's listening, this is a cool rule. If you're a male in the De La Garza household, you have to play football.
Oh.
You have to. There's no choice. And that started there with a grandfather, right, who still comes to our games. He has sons, daughters. They all play football, and so the beauty of it is they've all played St. Joe football, and most of them have all played for me. And so if there's one thing that connects the 12 De La Garzas who've played football, including Kiko, is they can talk about Midnight Madness. I have a summer camp in Maxwell, Texas called Camp Maxwell. They've all gone to Camp Maxwell. They've all traveled the bus to go play San Antonio and Austin schools. So if there's one thing that connects the Kiko De La Garza, the Kiko De La Garzas of the world to St. Joe football, it goes beyond his 4 years. He's been in the stands as a little boy watching his older cousins. You remember Bernie De La Garza?
Yes.
Okay, that's a De La Garza. Jorge De La Garza, Pablo De La Garza, Luis De La Garza, and the De La Garza names continue. It's a tradition, and so yeah, talking to Kiko, you're getting a lot of history there.
Is he the last to come through the ranks, or are there more coming?
There's a couple more.
A couple more. We'll talk about Kiko's growth as a freshman on the football field, and then what the expectations are this year.
Absolutely.
As the leader.
I mean, Kiko's the kid who he's like the queen on the chessboard. We've asked him to play everything. So Kiko started, and he, as a freshman, played quarterback for us, and then he was out there. He played maybe some weak safety. He played some receiver. We've moved him around everywhere, and right now he's emerged. Last year, after Adrián del Pozo got injured, he moved to the free safety spot, which is kind of like the middle linebacker of our defense, right? He controls almost everything, and he's a quarterback of our defense. So Kiko's emerged to being that guy, and he's the only guy on our team that starts both ways, plays offense, defense, special teams, doesn't get off, and is in shape to do it all. That's who Kiko. Now, how has he emerged this offseason? He's taken his leadership role to another level. You know, now he's got the respect of the locker room. He understands the discipline part. When you're young, you kind of want to defy the discipline. Now he embraces it, and now he enforces it as well with his teammates, including his peers in the same age. So, you know, Kiko's really come full circle for us, and I'm very proud of him, and I'm very happy that he's our captain.
I talked to him a little bit on the lines, and when I was talking to you, and that offense, defense, who may carry this team, and were you more comfortable? He's like, I'm taking every snap. I'll carry the team either way. It was just great to hear that. It was like, that's a great answer, because he was just like, he is going to be out there. So talk about what the players are going through right now.
So what we kind of do, and what we've done from the beginning, Joe, is what we script only the first 10 plays of the year. So these plays have been scripted since May. Okay. These are the first 10 plays of the year. These are the first 10 plays we're going to run every day in practice from now until Raymondville, right? And so right now what you're seeing is they're repping the 10 plays over and over and over again. And what it does is it gives you a little taste of every kind of facet that our offense has. So you've got a little bit of tight end, you've got a little bit of fullback, you've got a lot of obviously spread, some empty. It's about 50-50 right now. We've 50 run, 50 pass in the 10 plays. But right now they're going to run through that script until it hits 130, and they're just going to keep running through it and running through it and running through it till they're sick of it. And then from there, it tweaks you to move with a piece or two around, and then they kind of unravels the offense, and they get to really know it well.
Creates a little muscle memory as well,
yes.
That when the snap happens, regardless of what's happening around you, you know where you go. Your mind is set. I can run right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now we timed. So while the first 10 minutes were out there, we had those two groups going, and we were able to go through the script twice. So that means that each group ran it 20 times. So we ran 40 plays in 10 minutes. That's pretty slow for St. Joe, right? So
for some years,
yeah, that's pretty slow. So our goal, if we do it right, we're supposed to be running a play every 8 to 10 seconds,
right?
Which means that we can run 6 plays in a minute. Okay, 6 to 7 in a minute. We were out there for 10. We should be running 70 to 80 plays. So we are about halfway there. It's kind of the way my speech is about to be. It's like we thought we were good today. We're halfway there. We played half a game.
That's the coach coming out. Any coach I've ever known says, I don't care how good we looked, I'll find something, and we'll talk about it. And it's not just critique, Coach. It is true coaching and getting kids ready. Day one, you want them eager. You want them happy. You want them making some mistakes. You want to be able to coach them up, and a classic example right there.
Absolutely. We're going to get better at it. I think the goal by next Monday is to be at 60. We're at 40. If we can run through the script 3 times by next Monday, I think that we're going to be okay by the time we load the bus to go to Raymondville.
And again, by the time 12 days is in the books and you're heading to Raymondville, Luigi said he's going to be on the sideline, and even throughout there, if Coach needs a tip or two, I might be able to throw it at him. So he's already in that coaching mode. But again, in 12 days, walk us through those 12 days. I know part of it is non-pads, part of it is with pads, the importance of the pads, and just the progression of 12 days from now.
Well, we've had to learn. Obviously, the state of Texas wants to protect its athletes, and that's great. I think the new rules and everything that they put in place for contact it's music to our ears because we're always limited in numbers. So we've always had to do it anyway. It wasn't anything new for us. I don't know how I would take it if I was a coach with 300 football players, right? I think that, I have enough kids to kind of just keep hitting every day. But the way we approach our 12 days is literally more methodical than anything else. It's not really bang bang. It's more of understanding the system. It's more of understanding and more expressive communication. Everything we do here is about communication. And so if we don't tell our kids why we're doing what we're doing, if they can't comprehend it and then coach it themselves. So that's why when you see Luigi sit here, he can tell you, and I'll tell you what, I will take his advice. Luigi is just as talented and as smart as a coach as I am. right? Because he's ran through the program and the system for 4 years. It's like talking to Kai Money. I could sit here and ask Kai Money, not just because of his Texas experience, but just because he ran so many snaps for St. Joe. They probably know the offense better than I do.
Have you ever had a player play through injuries and get over injuries as fast as Luigi Cristiano did, especially last year?
No, we've never had to do it. You know, I told him his nickname is Big Lou, and it's after Big Ben. and it's kind of like the Ben Roethlisberger effect. You know, like Ben's had to play through a lot of injuries because the Steelers need him. And right now that's their first year without Big Ben. And for us, it's our first year without Big Lou. You know, he really stepped up last year, and I was so proud of him. Not only what he did on the field, not only his leadership ability, but his ability to kind of just old school suck it up and just rub some dirt on it and get his tail back out there and just be our quarterback and be our leader no matter how banged up he was.
Guys like Kiko recognize that as well, that there was a leader stepped away, somebody steps up, and he has. Talk about, you know, one last thing about some of the other players that are back here that leadership roles are going to be important for you. Kiko's one of those guys. Who's some others?
Yeah, I mean, we rely on Kiko. I mean, Ethan, even though he's a transfer, he's kind of done a good job at being vocal. Obviously, it helps when you're taking the snaps with the first group, right, as quarterback. So he's calling the plays in the huddle, but he's taking a good leadership role. We're really, the real leadership comes from the linemen. You know, Miguel Cortez, nicknamed Pumbaa, number 76. I mean, he is a 4-year starter for us. I mean, he's aggressive. He took a beating, not physically, meaning he was just he was the young pup when Blake Folks and Rodrigo Minor and all those guys were, when that was a season line, he was the rookie on it. So he knows what it's like to play next to Blake, and he knows what it's like to play next to those guys. Now it's his turn to be the Blake. It's his turn to lead these young guys. So we're looking for big things from him. And on the defensive side, our linebacker, Miguel Contreras, he's been a starter for us since he was a sophomore. So this is going to be his 3rd year. We rely on him to be our vocal leader in the box and kind of get the defensive box going. So those are the big names we're really looking for.
Those are those leaders on the field that communicate to the players. When you can't get the word out there fast enough, they can do it in a huddle in a snap of fingers.
Yeah, I think Adrián del Pozo leads by example. He's not that vocal, but I think, you know, when he turns that competitive switch on, I think his play speaks volumes. So he'll lead that way.
Yeah, again, Coach, we talked about the football season. Talk about it when you put the hat of the athletic director on. Just talk about this year in athletics for St. Joe and the excitement level. You know, year in, year out, people are talking about how many district titles can you capture this year. This year looks like a good one coming up. I
think so. I mean, look, we captured 8 last year, 7 the year before, so 15 in 2 years, and our cross country team, you know, is strong. I mean, Pedro Cardenas left, but the job that Coach Teddy and Louis Tijerina and Michael Schlater are doing for us is phenomenal in the cross country. Our runners are just phenomenal. We're looking for a great cross country run. Coach Olguin always does a great job with our volleyball girls, so we're excited for volleyball. I mean, fall, just kicking off the fall is big, but let's not forget Jerry Martinez. He's still here, and we can't wait to see him on the court. You know, Regina Tovar, she's still here. She's barely going to be a junior for Robert Moreno and the girls basketball team.
Yeah, I was talking to her during that inside the gym, and she was like, oh, I'm going to be a junior. I was like, a junior? That's right. You still got a year or two to go.
So we think of her because she starts as a freshman, you know. So we've got, you know, a lot of excitement on that regard. And then obviously our soccer team. You know, you look at our soccer team, talk about Kiko and Adrián del Pozo and all of them who are here, right? Like that's phenomenal for us. Our soccer program did a great job. Coach Tovar's done a great job the last couple of years. They've gotten to the second, third round of the playoffs and kind of gotten stumped there. So they got a chip on their shoulder too. I mean, we're so excited. Our track and cross country teams. I mean, we had a big summer for baseball. We've got a state champion in tennis, and he was just a sophomore, right? So he comes back, and I mean, golf, tennis, swimming. Our swimmers, we took 14 kids to state last year. So And the up and up, as athletic director, I'm very excited. I'm happy for our booster club to be able to buy us that nice bus that's parked over there that we can see behind the scoreboard. That's going to haul the kids up and down the state of Texas. New lights. We're always trying to do some renovations, and now trying to get a Bloodhound channel with you. So just kind of that down the pipeline. It's a great time to be part of the St. Joe Athletic Department.
I know when I talk to athletic directors, I talk about one of the most challenging days, and that is when schedules overlap. Schedules don't overlap so much if you don't have players and teams advancing into playoffs and beyond, and that's what you have, a luxury. But it's a credit to the program, a credit to the school, a credit to all the athletes. Tone set here by Midnight Madness.
Absolutely.
That's Coach Tino Villarreal. That's going to wrap it up. Any final words, Coach, before we wrap this thing up?
No, that's it. Just thanks for another, 8th annual. And for the channel, like I said, we're so excited. I think as a Bloodhound community, we don't even know what to expect yet. I think it's kind of in your dreams, in your brain, in your vision, but we're happy to live it out for you. Whatever that means, we're so excited. We're so happy. And for the Bloodhound community and the Bloodhounds listening here and our alums, thank you for your continued support. I mean, we can't do it without our big fan base. We hope that we get more and more viewers logged in. They understand what we're doing, and so now they kind of know what to expect. There's going to be live programming.
Yes.
Then there's going to be, obviously, replays. I know we're live now, but hopefully if whoever's watching this tomorrow, the next day, next week, that kind of material is provided by Real Sports, and more of that's coming, and we're figuring out ways to do that for all of our sports, right? So
yes.
We're going to try to get it out there for you so that you can watch all of our sports. So to the Bloodhound community, thank you for watching. Joe, thank you for having me. Now they're going to go through our fast tempo on the field, so let me go yell at some kids.
Sounds good. By the way, our final plug, our Inside the Gym will be regarding the volleyball team because they're hitting the floor as well. So that'll be our next edition of Inside the Gym. Thanks again, Coach, for the visit.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. That's Tino Villarreal. That's going to wrap it up for our coverage here, our live coverage here on Rio Sports Live. Reminding you, Brownsville St. Joseph athletes will be featured throughout the year here on Rio Sports Live on our channel, on our network of channels, on the Stars Network, powered by Real Sports Live. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Rudy's been running around to all these cameras out here trying to get everything dialed up, and he's done another tremendous job. Till next time, from Brownsville St. Joseph, for the Bloodhound channel and for Real Sports Live, I'm Joe Bowling. So long.